We all have this movie that we watched as an awkward teen that somehow made us feel cool and grown up. In my case, that movie is Lost in Translation. I remember that ever-present feeling in the movie of being lost and isolated, being completely overwhelmed by the unknown and foreign, the culture, the context being as new as it can be. And I craved that feeling. I grew up in a small town in Poland, and traveling abroad, yet alone to a new continent, seemed as accessible as buying a private jet plane. Despite this, or maybe because of this, traveling became my biggest dream that I chased and worked hard towards. I wanted to wake up somewhere new, somewhere where I could not speak the local language, where all the flavors were new, where every moment I was learning something different. I craved to be lost in translation. I knew that instead of feeling isolated and confused, I would feel overwhelmed by the sense of appreciation and admiration for everything that is new and waiting to be understood, hence Lost in Admiration. Lost in Admiration, it's more than just a quirky reference to a movie that I watched back in the day. It became my life philosophy, and I really believe that it allowed me to become who I am today and fulfill my dreams. It took me from being this scared little girl in a town that nobody knows to having studied in France, in the UK, working for big tech companies, and realizing my dream of traveling the world. Today, I want to break this philosophy down into little pieces so that it can serve you too. Welcome to Tokyo. Imagine you're an alien. Don't have to be ET-like, you can be a hot one like Lilo in Fifth Element. In my version, I'm definitely the cute and wrinkly ET. Anyway, you're an alien sent to Earth to study humans. Who are they? What are their behavior patterns? What can we learn from them? This is an inside undercover mission. You're one of them, but your main purpose is to learn and report back to the mothership. This is how I've been trying to approach my life, whether I just travel or meet people from different backgrounds. I want to know, why are they behaving the way they do? What drives them? This allows me to feel like I'm living more than just one life, and also to use everything that happens to me, both the good and the bad, as a learning opportunity. This is in contrast to the Lost in Translation attitude, where maybe you would go somewhere new and you would be like, I don't understand what you're saying, I don't understand what's going on, so I'm going to revert to my comfort zone. You don't want to do that. You want to embrace the unknown. Which brings me to second element of Lost in Admiration philosophy, which is curiosity about the unknown. This fascination could be about a topic or a culture, anything outside of your daily sphere of reference. Internet nowadays makes it very easy to learn anything you could want, but the thing is, you need to be okay with being outside of your comfort zone and sometimes even put yourself outside of your comfort zone on purpose. Hobbit in Japanese. The fact that I wasn't afraid of embracing new things got me to some pretty unexpected places. To give you an example, I did my undergraduate degree in the UK, for which I took a loan. So I was really hoping to get a scholarship for my master's because I couldn't afford to take another loan. But I didn't get it. After some research, I found out that I could get a scholarship in France. So despite not being able to speak French and not knowing a single person there, I moved to France. Est-ce que je parle français maintenant? Pas vraiment, mais je me débrouille. Watching the news these days or scrolling TikTok, there is so much conflict, which is clearly perpetuated because it's profitable for the few powerful. There is so much suffering and human rights violations. It's heartbreaking. To close one's eyes to this would be pure ignorance. But seeing all of this, I find it hard not to lose hope, not to become cynical. But then I also know deep in my heart that losing faith in human goodness and kindness would be letting the bad guys win. It would be saying they already won. I think no matter what happens in the world or in our personal lives, we need to actively seek out goodness and focus on it. And that also plays a large part in my life philosophy. I am aware of the evil in the world. I'm trying to be cautious. I'm trying to protect myself and my loved ones. But I also believe in human kindness and goodness. I think everyone can teach us something if we're willing to be open and curious, which brings me to another element of loss and admiration philosophy. You have to be willing to be wrong. Arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Come to Earth. They have delicious matcha. I feel like nowadays we live our lives in social media echo chambers. Spotify plays the music you like. Twitter will show you posts you agree with. YouTube will show you more of the same. Unless it's me. I'm the first extraterrestrial vlogger giving you advice on how to be human. If we are never exposed to new ways of thinking or doing things, we will be potentially stuck in limiting belief systems. And we will just redo whatever's been done before. This approach means that sometimes I have to sit and listen to things I don't agree with, which is not always great, but at least it gives me the opportunity to consciously construct my identity and my belief systems. And whenever I'm proven wrong, I know that these will be very valuable lessons and I'm grateful for them. So yeah, burst your bubble every now and then. The thing is, you don't need to travel across the world to be lost in admiration. Let me show you something. I want you to imagine that you died. I know it sounds very grim, but bear with me. Imagine that you died and you get to come back to Earth, to your life, only for one day. And that day is today. What do you do differently? How do you spend your time? What do you pay attention to? What makes you happy? Every moment is priceless and beautiful if you choose to pay attention. You don't need to go somewhere exotic to be lost in admiration. I think if you can't cultivate this mindset being home, in your hometown, on your way to work, it's going to be hard to have it anywhere else. They say if you look for beauty hard enough, you'll eventually become it. But beauty is more than just the aesthetic value of things. It's also their meaning, its goodness, its kindness. It's everything that brings a smile to your face. It's also everything that you can offer to others. Seeking beauty is a muscle that you have to keep developing, especially in times when things seem dark and bleak and horrible, because it's an objective truth that life is made up of both the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly. But what you focus on usually tends to expand, so challenge yourself to always seek out the good and the beautiful. And finding beauty where others see none will become your superpower, and it will change your life. Become lost in admiration.